Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is middle of the month for the month of April tarot oracle reading. And Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, then we all do have a little bit of Virgo in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, where is Virgo, which house is it in? That will give you where this information is mostly pertinent for you. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck for the entire reading, and that's the moon. So we do have a new moon coming up. The new moon is going to be on April 17th in the sign of Aries. It's actually leaving the sign of Pisces and moving into Aries, and that will complete an entire cycle. Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac, and Aries energy is the first. Now, when the moon enters Aries, it's going to be joining all these other planets that move there. There's been like 7, or will be 7 by April 25th. And that have moved into the sign of Aries. And we're talking some big hitters, some big planets here. This is almost unheard of in our lifetime. We probably won't see this again, where all of these planets converge in one sign like that. It's very uncommon, actually, and it's got a real wallop of energy. The Aries energy is the infant of the zodiac. So when we you know, when the moon moves there too, it's all about the new. So it's a new moon, and it's about new, and this new moon is going to be, you know, about taking action and all about the new and innovation and, you know, being able to be your authentic self. That's what Aries is about. So it's saying that the moon is significant for you. When the moon is in its cycles, and particularly the full moon and the new moon, we tend to be a lot more intuitive, and emotions can run really high also at that time. And we also have on this card, we have the sun, the full moon and the new moon being represented here. And this energy can talk about the eclipses that we just went through. So we went through 2 eclipses in eclipse season back on January 17th or February 17th and March the 3rd. We had a lunar and a solar eclipse. And so that energy tends to stick with us for about 6 months. At that time, Mercury was in retrograde, so communication was a little skewed. It's been a real wild astrological time. It's not always that way, like where astrological influences are so many, but just in that particular time. Plus, we had the Chinese New Year moving into the year of the horse, fiery horse energy from the snake. So this is a lot of energy, and so it's not surprising the moon's coming out in this reading. It's talking about coming out of the emotional waters. This lobster wants to get through these two, he wants to stay on his path in between these 2 pillars. But he has to pass by this dog and this wolf, and they're both howling at the moon. And the dog represents your domestic side, and the wolf represents your wild side. And so this could be saying that, you know, you need to get a balance in between the 2. Perhaps you've been too domestic and have isolated yourself, and you haven't been out and about very much, and it's time to get back out there. Or maybe you've been like a wild child, and it's time to rein her in a little. So we need to have some balance there. And it's also saying use your intuition at this time. It's highly, you know, that there's a lot of energy behind that. There is a tower. I was wondering, because the moon is about hidden secrets and illusions coming out. So this energy is talking about a tower is hitting. The tower shows up when people are not facing their actual reality. And, you know, the universe will whisper to us, you know, hey, you might want to take a look at that. There's something that you need to look at. And you're like, yeah, I'll do it later. But you don't. So then the universe gets the frying pan out and whacks you over the head with it and says, you know, you need to pay attention to this. And you say, I'll do it next week, I promise, but you don't. So then the 2x4 comes out, whoomp, and you still don't pay attention. So then what happens? The lightning hits. How often does lightning hit? About as often as, you know, you could win the lottery. It's not that often, but when it happens, now your turret's on fire on your castle, the castle's on fire, people are falling out of it. It's something that, this is saying now you're going to have to rebuild from here. So sometimes we can avoid the tower if we deal with things and nip them in the bud kind of energy. And sometimes, you know, we just don't see it no matter what, and bang, the reality hits. Now, there's two people here. One of them is totally shocked, but the other one was kind of like, ugh, I was wondering when this was going to happen. I should have taken care of this sooner, but didn't. So now, the tower is always uncomfortable for everybody, but you know, the way that it plays out, sometimes when the tower hits, I mean, it's beneficial because it makes people have to go back into reality. Like, you have to look after this stuff. And for someone that maybe didn't know there was stuff that was going on that they need to look after, this is really important, because then they can move into that energy and, you know, get their shift together. And for the person that was busy doing that, so it depends on which side of this tower you're on. Sometimes towers are like the lottery, like it's a really good thing for you because you didn't know there was all this shift going on, and now you do, and so you can actually make strong choices. And for the other person, if they've been doing something, it could be like, yeah, like now, you know, your shift is caught up with you and you're going to have to deal with it. We have the Hermit coming out. So the Hermit, maybe this tower actually causes a dark night of the soul for someone. So the dark night of the soul is when, you know, something happens and it's really shifty, and now you have to deal with it and you don't know what to do. And you're like, kind of, what do I do? So the Hermit climbs the mountain and isolates himself at the top so no one can bother him. And he takes his lantern up there with him. And when the light of the North Star shines in his lantern, bright enough to light up his staff, then he knows, okay, it's time to come down from the mountain and take action. And so this is going to commune with God, to ask source energy, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And we have coming down from there, though, now you know what you know. And so it's worth, you know, with the reality check and the help of the divine, you are like, okay, now I know what I know. I know I've got conviction beyond a doubt, the steps that I have to take. And the wands represent the element of fire and taking action. And so now you're willing to, you know, stand up for yourself and take action. This person has a boot on one foot and a shoe on the other. Now this could represent the actions of others coming at you, and you had to run out of your house real quick to protect your shift, right? And you just didn't put the right footwear on. Or it could be like that you're sort of straddled in between two worlds here and haven't quite figured out which way to go, but at least now you know that you have to take action and you know what you know. So conviction beyond a doubt. And then we have, okay, so we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare that never ends. And this is the beauty of the reality check. When a reality check comes in like this, so when the tower hits, it's really uncomfortable, but maybe a year later, you'll be looking back and saying, oh, that was the best thing that could have happened to me, really, because it got me out of this energy. Because this energy is saying that possibly you're in this never-ending cycle. It won't end. You don't know how to end it. You're like lost and confused, and you're in the dark night of the soul. This prompts you to climb the mountain, get the help, and be in your conviction. So now this is representing something that is repeating over and over again. And also it can sometimes just represent someone who is in stifling boredom. And quite often, like, people will be like, you know, it's like when your daily routine is the same and you feel like you're doing the same old shift day after day after day. And people quite often refer to that as Groundhog Day. But it might be of some comfort to you to know that, you know, like back when I was in school, they taught us that the sun was in the middle and we all went, did our rotation around the earth, all the planets like this, and it was like a perfect circle. You know, it was like, and they still show pictures online like that, so I don't know if they still teach that in school. But it's more actually like we're traveling very fast even when it feels like we're sitting still. So the whole universe is moving and it's spiraling and it's spinning and it's moving all the time. So you're never ever in the same place as you were before, ever. The one thing you can count on is death, taxes, and change. Yet people fear change, and it's happening to them every second of every minute of every day. So, you know, you might be having the same daily routine day after day, but you're not in the same place. You can never be in the same place or the same person, because for one thing, now you have, you know, a change. You've had 24 hours of change before the next day kind of energy. And so this sometimes can now represent, now that you went up to the top of the mountain, you got some insight, and maybe that insight comes to you through your dreams, and you're trying to remember a dream because in your dream God showed you, do this step, and take these 9 steps, and then take those actions. And sometimes your ancestors might be trying to contact you through your dreams. Quite often our ancestors on the other side of the veil will contact us through our dreams, because that's when we're in a dream state, we're more easily accessible. And this is talking about the cosmic blanket. So this is this quilt that this person has. It has cosmic symbols on it, and this represents that the universe does have you covered. This is saying, though, you're going to have to get out of bed. You're going to have to leave your comfort zone, and you're going to have to take some consistent steps of action to improve this situation. You can't just sit there in bed and hope it gets better. And then we have this energy of the 4 of Wands. Now this card can talk about commitment, marriage, and partnership. So this, this is the ultimate fulfillment, but this doesn't feel like there's a lot of fulfillment here so much at this point. But you're trying to get to this point. It could represent sometimes in this kind of energy that you thought you had fulfillment, but you didn't. And so this could represent that it involves someone that you have made a commitment to or has made a commitment to you. It could be your spouse, or it could even be, you know, partnerships in business, you know, family, that kind of energy, significant others. And you thought that, you know, you had that commitment. You thought that everything was going the way it was supposed to be going. This is the beginning stages of that fulfillment, when you have the down payment for the castle, which is a huge goal to have reached, but you still have to make the down payments. And it's kind of talking also like, you know, you plan the wedding, the question was asked, and the answer was yes, and now you're in that phase, but you're going to you still have to always be working on that relationship if you're married or in a commitment to make it fulfilling. And this could be talking about that's what you've been trying to do, but it's not working. You know, trying is another word for not doing, for one thing, but trying, like say you're doing your best to try and it's hard to even say it. You're doing your best to have a good life, but it's maybe not working out the way that you planned. It's like a never-ending nightmare, and you can't. And now with this reality check coming in, you know why, but now you're kind of like, now how do I fix this? And this energy also can represent the universe doing its best to get in touch with you here. So pay attention, because again, we started off with this intuition card, and now it's talking about your dreams and having gone to the Most High for clarification on what to do in your life. So this card sometimes can represent the 111-11-11 portal. And that is kind of a synchronicity that the universe uses to be able to get in touch with you and give you information. And the best way to describe it is this: like you're sitting at your computer and you glance at the clock and it's 11:11, and then, oh, that reminds me, I've got an appointment I have to be at 1:30 today. and you Google it because you want to make sure, like, how long is it going to take to get there? What's the address? It's at 111 11th Avenue, and it will take 11 minutes for you to get there. And you're like, okay. So you're leaving the house, and on your way out the door, you glance at the clock, and it's 1:11. And you're like, well, that's weird. And then you get in your vehicle, and you're driving, and there's a short detour, and the car in front of you has the license plate 111 on it. And you're like, what? And so this is the universe wanting to get your attention and saying, hey, you're really manifesting at a high level right now. Watch your thoughts. Make sure that your thoughts are focused on what you want and how to get there rather than on the problems in getting there. And so this is saying, you know, whatever you are focusing on, energy flows where attention goes. So if you're focusing on everything that you don't want to happen, that universe is just getting, oh, they want some more of what doesn't want to happen. It's, you know, and so you want to be very careful with your thoughts. And it's really interesting, after this phenomena starts, you'll notice it. And everywhere you look, every time, if there's a 111 or an 1111 somewhere, and you'll notice, if you check your thoughts at that time, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I was having a negative thought and I didn't even realize it. And so having negative thoughts is a bad habit we can get into, and it really affects our ability to, you know, move forward, because we're sending a message, like we're saying we want something good to happen in our life, but our focus is all on the bad shift. And so it's really important and it's really beneficial, because when that starts happening, then you get into this energy of being able to find creative solutions for your problems. And we have here the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is talking about someone who's highly elevated in their position. You have mastered your skill set. People are like, wow, this person's really good at what they do, and they want to collaborate with you. So that's really good news. These two people here have plans. This is a stone mason. We're doing all this beautiful sculpting work on this stone. And they want to collaborate with them and have him come work for them. And this energy, you have to be very careful, because quite often this energy is of someone who has like a special talent that not a lot of people have. Like it could be someone in the entertainment industry, you know, someone who's an actor or an actress, and now the producers and the directors want you to be a lead role in a movie, a blockbuster movie. You know, woohoo. And then there's like, you know, you might be a talented musician, and you know, the record producers are there, and someone wants you to go on a concert tour. There's a famous band and they want you to be their backup band. That kind of energy. There could be a situation where, you know, your book gets accepted, and now you are on the best, you know, like it's giving you an opportunity to be on the New York Times bestseller list. There could be an energy of, sometimes you could be like really, really good at sports, and this could represent scholarships coming in from different universities and colleges. Or even better, like maybe you've already been past that point, and now this is actually to be a pro athlete, and this is your opportunity now to be on a team, like on as a pro athlete. That's kind of energy. Now, history is rife with stories of people who have been in that position, and they're in an elevated position, but they sell themselves short by not looking over the contract properly, by people coming in, you know, and wanting, and what happens is they end up being breadcrumbed by the people who sign them up. And also it's kind of a situation too where you could be like sign a contract with someone, and then you find that there's clauses in there that say that you're not allowed to be creative anymore. They have control over what you sing, how you sing it, who you sing it with, that kind of energy. So it really stifles your creativity and turns something that you love into like something that's kind of miserable. Or, you know, maybe you've been accepted into one of the top lawyer firms or something, and they want you to work 80 hours a week. and you have young children and you're like, man, I want to spend some time with my children. Like, I'm not, like, they're only going to be little once, but you don't have the opportunity now because you've signed that contract. So this energy, you know, is saying anything you sign, make sure that people are in alignment with your goals. Don't be, and make sure you have these documents looked over by people who are really, specialize in that kind of energy, because it's really important. It's going to affect your lifestyle. The pentacles are about lifestyle. So you could have all the money in the world, but if you're not living the lifestyle that you want, you're not going to be enjoying your life. And quite often this can also represent, for me, secret society energy. And the thing is about secret societies is they're secret. So they like to keep a lot of secrets. And one of the secrets that they'll keep maybe is that, there's a lot of hidden energies that you don't know about. Secret societies could be like anything from going to your church and they have, certain energies happening in the background that you're not aware of. There could be like, there's all sorts of secret societies out there, and there's cults and there's all sorts of things. So the thing is about all of this energy is that they tend to do rituals and they tend to do things in secret. And the group is more important to them than any individual in the group. And so, they don't care whether you don't want to work 80 hours a week. It really doesn't matter to them. And there's some of these, they enforce their rules. Like, this is taken very seriously. They have their own special handshakes and they do their rituals and they put on their little plays and stuff with each other. And like, it's a big deal. And for instance, with the Masons, you're not supposed to tell your spouse what you're doing when you're there. And so right away, that's like, okay, like now your spouse is secondary to a secondary relationship to everybody in this secret society, for one thing. So it's that kind of energy. If you sign up with it and you don't follow the rules, there are major consequences to pay. So, and sometimes there can be consequences to pay if you don't sign up with them. So it's just, you have to be very careful with this energy. Make sure you know what you're signing up for, and that it supports your lifestyle. It's not just all about the money coming in. And if people are trying to push you into something and saying, well, you have like 10 hours and then this opportunity is gone, bypass it. Because that kind of energy, 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 is going to be the kind of energy where if you have to be pressured like that, it's probably got some hidden elements that you need to have a lawyer look into. And this can cause like heavy burdens, heavy burdens. So this is talking about someone who is bringing in their harvest. The harvest is the wands represent the element of fire, the actions that we take, what we're passionate about, the seeds we plant. And then when they grow into these wands, some of them could be heavy with the fruit of your labor, and it's like your harvest coming in. It's, yay, I've got a heavy harvest, but you still have to carry it. And then sometimes this harvest can also include some wands where it's other people's shift, that you're carrying burdens for other people that don't belong to you. And quite often that's what this kind of energy is. That's why you have to be so careful. Now this person is almost home, but he can't even see his home because he's busy, like it's taking everything out of him just to carry this load. And he doesn't even see how close he is to home. He doesn't see any way out. This energy is really up close and personal. So there's a saying, you can't see the forest because of the trees. And this is the energy of when you get so caught up in the minor details of everyday life that you don't see the big picture anymore. And so he can't see that he's almost home and he's almost going to quit. This is saying, do not quit. But do put down any burdens that don't belong to you. It's really important, because if justice needs to be served in a situation such as this, that when the karma hits, if you don't put those burdens down and back away from that energy, you're going to get hit with the karma as well. And it's supposed to be coming in for justice for you. So, this is saying, you have a hard load to bear right now, and part of it could be burdens from other people, or it could be due to seeds you planted with people that you signed up with, or that you're associated with, and now you're carrying the load, and you need to lay those down in the field there, right there, and say, okay, phone them up and say, come and pick up your burdens. I'm not carrying them for you anymore. And if they don't pick them up, that's their problem, not yours anymore. You've made it clear that you're not doing it. We have the external forces. So this tower is about the internal forces coming in. So this is, you can tell it's an internal force, because the internal force is when you're saying, what if this happens? What if they do that and I have to do this? What if, what if, what if? And the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. And so those internal forces, you do have control over them. The external forces coming in are more like when you're saying, what the EF happened. It's like someone came into your life, or something happened in your life, or you signed this contract and then you found out after, whoa, you didn't know what you were signing up for. And it is a lot, and it's a heavy burden. And now you're trying to figure out, how do I move forward out of this position? So this is talking about how you identify yourself with right now. You're going through the dark night of the soul kind of energy, or you just have been through it. You probably didn't climb a mountain, but you may have, to isolate yourself. This is talking about wanting some time to yourself so that you can get clear on what you need to do. So then once you come from that, this is the abundance in self-worth, is saying, okay, now that I know what I know, I'm going to, with this reality check coming in, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to stand on my conviction. Like, I'm going to have conviction beyond a doubt that I deserve to have the abundance that's supposed to be coming to me. And if I'm putting the work in, then I want to be compensated fairly for that. And this is talking about your communication in early life. So perhaps it's always been you're used to this kind of energy where there's always been problems in your family. Maybe your family belongs to a secret society and you just weren't aware of it. Like, believe me, that can happen very easily because they're very secret. And remember, they're not supposed to tell people who don't belong to the secret society anything that they're doing with the secret society. The higher up the degree, the higher the level, the more energy that is put in that direction. And so this is talking about your emotional foundation. So this is what you want. This is the fulfillment that you want. This is maybe what you thought you were working towards when you put this work in and signed up and like, yeah, yay, I'm being honored for my work. And then it turned this way. And so this is talking about creativity, romance, and children. There isn't any when you're in this situation. When you're in this situation, you're owned. And so you do what other people tell you to do instead of being able to use the gift that God gave you. Your God-given gift is now belongs to someone else. And you are you're their minion, basically carrying the load. That's basically the energy here. And this is about your health and your fitness, your daily routine and habits, how they're now burdensome instead of enjoyable. We have the external force of the shift disturber coming in here. Whoops. See, he's already messing up my reading here. So the shift disturber energy. This is someone who likes to stir the pot and confuse matters kind of energy. He's a walking contradiction. We don't really have a good grip on this person. What motivates them? Because, well, we know probably it's money, but and power possibly, but it's an energy that's very conflicted. So the swords in tarot do represent your mental intelligence, your discipline of your mind, and your ability to tame your mind. So your mind should be working for you, not against you. And so the shift disturber, for whatever reason, he's planted these two swords here and he's sneaking off with these other 5. Now, he's in broad daylight. So if he's a thief in the night, he's not, or if he's a thief, he's not a thief in the night. He's a thief in broad daylight. So a thief in broad daylight would imply someone that, he's on his tiptoes and being very sneaky here. but he's in broad daylight. So that would be possibly paperwork, that kind of energy. This could be someone that is doing white collar crime, you know, like forgery, identity theft, money laundering, counterfeiting, that kind of energy. And so this energy, he's always looking over his shoulder. He's looking back into the past. And he's looking at these two swords. So this could represent someone that you were in a relationship. This could represent, because the next position here is your significant other, basically. And so this energy is talking about sneaking away with these 5 swords. Now these 5 swords, you know, he's not looking where he's going. And he's looking over his shoulder at the past. And the thing is, it's really weird because everybody can see him. He's in broad daylight, but he's not concerned about that. And he has zero regard for his own safety. I mean, who carries swords like this? These are super sharp. Look how he's carrying these swords. So even if he had good intentions, this is someone that really behaves dangerously, impulsively, and I mean, if he trips, he could easily lose his hands here. These are very sharp swords, and I've never seen anyone carry swords like this before. If he's this dangerous with his own energy, how is he with other people's? Probably similar. And so this is talking about an external force that maybe is likable or whatever, you know, on the surface, but it's not, it's an energy that you certainly can't trust or that you can't rely on for sure. And especially the judgment, like just by the way he's carrying the swords, you can see that. It doesn't, you know, and just the weird behavior. And so this is talking about the energy of the wounded warrior. Yeah, so this is 9 of the swords. So maybe you put 1 sword down now and you managed to get these other 8 home. You know, you're so close. And so you didn't quit. Good for you, because like a lot of people quit right before they're about to get to where they need to go. But you're leaning on the 9th, and this is the one that you're going to take action with now. And I feel like that's kind of this energy here. You know, the Band-Aid is, you've got a headache. It's been like a lot to get there. And so the wounded warrior is someone that's doing their best to stay on their destined path and to do what God wants them to do, like, and take that advice and follow through. But it's challenging to do it because there's a lot of external forces coming at you. And so this is in your position of commitment, partnerships, and marriage. So, you know, this energy, we already talked about the possibilities of this energy. It's full of illusions and secrets, and yeah, it's really, I can see why you would be in a state where you are having a challenge. Like it would be really challenging to not be in an anxious state with this kind of energy. It's a lot. This is a lot of energy. And now this is saying like you need to go off to calmer waters and from where you are, because this is too much of this energy. It's going to break you down eventually if you don't do something about it. So this is talking about, you know, the conveyor of this boat is having to dig really deep with this pole to move this boat forward. And quite often the adult with the child and no baggage can be representing your inner child. And maybe something happened in your childhood that caused you to kind of attract this energy on some level, or it's something from when you were a younger child that's part of the burden here that you don't know about, and maybe that's what is going to be coming up. So once you go to calmer waters with God, making that choice, like I'm making a move, I'm changing the way who I hang out with, I'm changing what I do. I want to have some peace in my life. This is in your house of transition. This is talking about the secrets coming out and dealing with them rather than thinking about dealing with them, and maybe healing that inner child. So this energy here is talking about, you know, someone being hard at work here. So this could be your energy, and you could maybe have started a new project here, and you are like, this is how I'm going to be now, and you are on the second pentacle, and you've got 6 more to, you know, to go to complete all 8. Or this could be like you're finishing something up, and then you'll be able to move forward, like you're trying to get the funds together possibly. This is someone who's very focused on making money, because this is the only pentacle card in the deck where there's actually someone pounding out an actual physical coin. So sometimes this can represent that energy of, you know, making money, counterfeit money, money laundering, paperwork, that kind of energy. And so this is in your higher knowledge. So if this is what you're realizing, okay, this is what's been going on in behind the scenes, and this is what you're having to deal with now. And we have the Queen of Wands coming in. So the Queen of Wands is someone, she's one of the 4 queens in the minor arcana. She's considered to be very sexy and a natural beauty. She has a sunflower here representing her happiness. The sunflower plant turns its head with the sun, in the location of the sun, turning to the sun. And the sun is the happiest card in the deck, and it sheds light on the hidden and the illusions. And so this is God's energy. So this is talking about that energy of going up to the mountain and then taking action. So her wand is made of wood, and it's passionate. And she has a handle on that wand, and it's also representing the tree. And the tree, it has like deep roots for ancestors, and this is the offshoots for the descendants. So this could be something that's... oh, and there's the black cat here also. So the black cat can represent someone who is, you know, like she's not, the Queen of Wands is best known for having creative solutions. She uses her logic as well as her intuition to come to creative solutions. And this veil in the background is representing the thin veil between the spiritual realm and the physical, and being able to bring those creative solutions in that way. So this is your transition and secrets coming out. This is your higher learning. And now this is your career and reputation. So it could be that on top of everything else, that because maybe you want out of this, or you didn't sign up with these people, whatever happened here, that now you're finding that your career and reputation, all of a sudden people don't want to do business with you. Like there's like, what's going on here? Like, you know, so someone's been doing their best to ruin your reputation so that you can't do business. And then, oh, we have the devil here, and I had that upside down. Isn't that interesting? I don't take upside down cards, but that came in upside down. So whatever was going on with this energy, I feel like it's shifting now. So that's good to see, because this is blessings coming in. Okay. So yeah, but I'm going to put it back up, right? Because we want to talk about this. This is lover here. There's 2 lovers here, and they are yoked to each other, and they're chained to Saturn's box here. So the devil energy, the devil's haunched in between them. And this represents like animal instinct. And so this represents, this is less love and more lust. And so perhaps your partner... part of the wounding is maybe they've been stepping out with someone else, and that's part of the energy that's coming at you here. It could have something to do with that, or it could say that your lover that you have is in this energy, which could, you know, be very possible here. Maybe they belong to a secret society and you don't know it. You know, it's that kind of energy. So when this card comes up, the devil represents temptation. And, you know, the devil can't do his own dirty work. You know, the devil spelled backwards. The devil loves to spell things backwards. And so it said, devil spelled backwards is lived. And as in used to. He used to have lived, but now he is like an archetype here in this tarot deck. So he has to get a minion to go in and do his dirty work for him. So I always cover that card. You're not going to get the truth from the devil. It's very manipulative. A lot of times there's talk about people, and we're seeing that out there a lot right now in the news, of people who, they'll right up say it, I sold my soul to the devil. And, you know, when we're born and we come onto the planet, God gives us choice. And so if we choose to give our choice to someone else, like that's like, wow, like it's, to give your choice away is like, wow. So this energy is, let's see, I always put cover it with the next card up. I want to see, does, who's the minion that the devil sends in, or what is it about? And we already know it's about money, and 99.99999% of the time, if you follow the money, you'll get to the bottom of this energy. Some people will do anything for money, and I do mean they will do anything for money. And so let's see. This changes your world. If you go in this direction, it's going to change your world. And so this is talking about this cycle is coming to an end if you choose to follow God's advice and stay on God's path. If you choose to go on the devil's path, it's going to be a whole new world for you. And so, you know, that's a decision you need to make. This is in blessings. And so, of course, when you sign up with the devil at first, it feels like there's all sorts of blessings coming in until it's time to pay. And then it's kind of like, okay, pay up. And you're like, pay up? What do you mean? Well, you didn't think you were just going to get all of this for free, did you? There's, you know, you have to, you signed up with me. You gave your soul to me. You have to do my bidding. It's that kind of energy. It's like, oh no, I didn't know I was doing that. And it's kind of that energy. So yeah, make a strong choice at that point, and you will, otherwise what happens, is you end up in this position where all the work you put into this, you'll get very little out of it, and you'll be in that position. And that's, you know, from signing up with the devil, basically. So yeah, it's your choice. You always have choice. God gives you choice. So this is that energy. What are you going to do? You know, which way are you going to go? It's, you know, if you want my advice, and I mean, I would say, you know, I would go down God's path. That's that's the path I would take. But sometimes people do what they feel is best for them, and so you have to do what you have to do. And so this energy, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really enjoyed this reading so much. It's kind of a dark. It's kind of a bit of a bleak reading. I would say bleak, B-L-E-A-K. But there's a lot of information in here that's very empowering to understand and know. So it's kind of like once you know what you know, and you have conviction beyond a doubt, then you can't blame other people. Like now, if you make those choices and you go in that direction, I mean, if you go with God, you're going to have, this energy will move away. But if you choose to go with the devil, you're going to have to deal with the contract, basically. And so, yeah, it's a, you know, to me, it's an easy decision to make, but I mean, I'm not you. And so, if you have enjoyed this, if you've gotten some benefit from this reading, give it a like and comment, please. It really does help build my channel. I appreciate it. And I'm going to clarify for those of you who need clarification here or want clarification. So I'm using my Oracle Tales from the Vector, T-A-I-L-S. So I started this in 2007. In 2020, I completed the 64th painting. Just tuning into this reading now to see what is the energy coming in. And yeah, I'm getting ready to bring this out in the description box below. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light, by the way. In the description box below, the numbers on the cards I'm using represent the energy of each painting that I did. And I completed 64 paintings by 2020, and they're listed in the gallery. And so the numbers on these cards are the number representing them in the gallery. The information will be in the description box below. I will put them in the order they appear here so that you can have a look at them. They might give you further clarity. We have transition coming in. So definitely there is some transition coming in. There's some illusions and hidden secrets. The tower is going to hit. It's going to be beneficial in the way that you are going to have some clarity about what's going on. And we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is talking about the traditional structure of, this is talking about on a religious level, it would be like the members of the church. It might be this kind of energy. Sometimes this can represent church energy, different religious leaders that are not maybe on the up and up. And we have the Hierophant energy here. So it's talking about bringing that from the spiritual, bringing that justice down into the physical world. And then we have Temperance, saying if you stay on your God-given path and you're devoted to that, and you're patient, it's going to work out for you. Follow your North Star, and the North Star is your destined path energy. And if you stay on your destined path, even though it can be really difficult, and it may seem other people are getting ahead faster, in the end it always pays off. When it's time to pay that contract, it's a different story. We have the Aries energy coming in here. The new moon coming up is in Aries, and this energy, there's a lot of Aries energy. Like we've had 2 eclipses. We've had the Chinese New Year switching into the year of the fiery horse. We've had, since the beginning of the year, we've had like 7 planets will have moved into the sign of Aries. And that's unheard of. Like, it just doesn't happen, and like you won't see that again in your lifetime. And even the moon now is moving into Aries, so it's very intense energy. It's about wanting to do things new. And even if you don't want to do things new, the new is here, and it's going to be all about the new. People having to learn to do things in a new way, and that energy. So when the horoscope signs come in a collective reading like this, I'm not talking about this energy of an individual. I'm talking about the state of being of that sign. Now, so we all have a little bit of each sign within us, and we can learn from that energy. And every sign has its strengths and its weaknesses. And so for Aries, it's about being your authentic self. So this is very assertive energy. And Venus moved in there, so matters of love, a lot of things are coming to the surface right now, because of and especially now again with this new moon moving into this Aries energy on the 18th, or is it the 17th of April. And so dissension with friends like this, who needs enemies. So there could be a lot of people that knew what was going on behind your back here and just didn't tell you, and maybe they belonged to the secret society and so they couldn't. So that's the energy, that's the way it is. We have Virgo energy here. So you're coming in and you're representing yourself as wanting to be in this energy here. So this is good. Like if you stay on, do what you need to right now to stay having strong communication with yourself and with others, and so that you can get to the bottom of things. The Mercury, we just did come out of a Mercury retrograde as well. It's been a very busy time. We're going to have we're having a little bit of a quiet time, but Uranus is moving into the sign of Gemini, and that's another big move. So that's happening on the 25th of April. I'll talk about that though in the next upcoming readings, because that's also like a huge energy coming at us with change involved. For now, the thing is about Virgo energy that you can is really beneficial is you can, it's a healing energy, and if you're doing your best to heal from something, this is a very beneficial energy. And also it's talking about the communication. So Virgos are very good at being able to see what's out of order, and they like things in order. They like to, they're very organized generally, and so and cleanliness is next to godliness. Virgos are really good at analytical critique, and that is really powerful energy when we're all moving into this new energy. Of having to experiment, and if you say, okay, I'm going to do a Virgo, when they are observing, they can right away pick out, okay, that's what's wrong here. So this energy, just have to be careful that you're not, that the analytical critique doesn't turn into anal criticism, because it's not going to help. Like if you're being harsh with your words, right now is a really good time to be assertive but not abrasive. And that includes with yourself as well as with others. Abuse of power. This is a karmic space that we can fall into. And the thing is, it's sitting right here on this energy. But the thing is if we sign up for it, then we're, abusing our own power against ourselves. So it's, you have to take responsibility for your part in everything. Surrender. I feel like this is talking about, it's cold in here. There must be something in the atmosphere. Sometimes when our ancestors come in spirit form, we'll feel like a bit of a cool breeze, or the lights flicker, that kind of energy. So they might be trying to tell you something. Pay attention, pay attention. And then we have the Cancer energy on the external forces. So again, it's pointing out this moon, which is what we started up with. So I feel like this moon coming up might be significant. We also had two eclipses in eclipse season at the beginning of this month, towards the end of February and the beginning of March, And so this energy sits with us for about 6 months, and the eclipse season, it's kind of like a gradual energy, and it's percolating in the background, and it quite often has a significant effect. You'll look back 6 months later and you'll say, wow, I didn't realize I made all those changes. And quite often they can be very beneficial if you're in the right state of mind and you're moving forward in a real strong way. So this, the energy of Cancer is when you want to use your sensitivity and your emotions to get into touch with your feeling, so that you can feel what's happening instead of overthinking it. When you're overthinking, then it's hard to feel what's in your heart. We have the moon energy coming in again, sitting on partnerships, commitments, and that. So there could be some hidden illusions that are coming out. And this is talking about, how I said, like in my oracle, this is a gypsy energy. So it's kind of like, if you discipline your mind, then you make strong choices. Then you can enjoy a little bit of that fiery gypsy energy, your wild side, rather than always being so domestic. This is talking about going on the fool's journey and maybe signing up with this kind of energy here, and then having an expectation that it's going to work out for you. It'll be different for me. I'm going to handle it differently. Expectations create limitations. They always do. And quite often expectations, the universe might be trying to give us something better than what we're signing up for, but we're not listening. So we sign up for it, and we sell ourselves short. We have disruption coming in. Yeah, like if there's making of money and it's in this energy, it's some people really do enjoy that kind of energy, though, living on the edge like that, carrying swords like that, and let's see if I can carry all these swords and not look where I'm going and not trip and cut my hands off. I personally don't enjoy that kind of energy. I feel like it's unnecessary. I feel like a lot of times when people are in that energy, they're confusing anxiety with excitement. They're very similar emotions. So the need to be right. That's sitting on this energy. And so that's why God is the only person that's really able to judge other people accurately, because when someone's in that energy, maybe they do have some healing that they need to do from their inner child. They may have had a very rough childhood, and so they misinterpret, you know, if there's no drama in their life, they feel very uncomfortable. That's, you know, that's not an uncommon thing. So the need to be right. Yeah, when you need to be right, you need to be right. But sometimes you have to be able to say, hey, I had a part in this. I'm the one who signed up. I didn't pay attention to the signs when the universe was trying to warn me. I had a feeling. I didn't listen to my intuition. You have to take responsibility for that. So you don't want to be making like, oh, no, you're always right. And you would rather be right than be happy. To be happy, you need to learn from your mistakes so that you can move forward in a strong way. Having the courage to face life without taking these shortcuts. And then the blessings actually come in when you're in your integrity and you're in your heart energy rather than, you know. And then look at that, puts you on a foolhardy journey that you can anticipate. So really, it's a matter of choice, and we all have choice whether or not we're going, which path do you want to go down. That's that kind of energy. So the foolhardy energy is when you're following this North Star. You follow the information you receive from the divine, like your intuition. You follow that, okay, I need to stay on my destined path no matter what. It might put me in this energy. It might not be the easiest thing, but in the long run, it's going to be a much better life than I could probably access this fulfillment. So this has got a lot of really good advice for everybody, Virgo. I do hope you've enjoyed it. You know, and the thing is also about the Virgo energy, seeing that you're representing yourself here, you have to, Virgos are first and foremost the most likely to be really harsh on themselves. Like, so, you know, when they use anal criticism, quite often, like that's what they do to themselves every day. And so you have to be careful what words you're using for yourself and what are the negative thoughts in the back of your head. Are you having, you know, like if you see these 111 or 1111s, pay attention. It's the universe doing its best to empower you to make really strong choices, because there's some energy coming in that you need to be aware of here. So yeah, make strong choices and enjoy, you know, and don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be always beating yourself up for every single thing and using harsh words against yourself. It's not beneficial. All right, so I do hope you've enjoyed this reading, and if so, please do give it a like and comment. It does help me build my channel. I will be back with another reading for you. It'll be, I'll focus a little bit more on this new moon energy coming up. It'll be a bonus reading. It'll be in the next, like that's on the 17th, so it'll be my next round of astrological insights. So bye for now.